Kate Middleton and Prince William are celebrating Prince Louis' third birthday today at their home in Kensington Palace, the young royal's second lockdown birthday. It's an exciting day in the Cambridge household as Prince Louis is celebrating his third birthday. Prince William and Kate's third child, who is fifth in line to the throne, has now spent 2 of his 3 birthdays in the COVID-19 pandemic, and like children his age is growing up in a world of social distancing, face masks and lockdowns. This means his early years have been unlike any other members of the family, and we've seen less of him than we have his older brother and sister. But Kate and Wills have shared a number of adorable pictures of Louis in the past year, including a photo of him making a rainbow painting to stick in the window of their Norfolk home for our NHS heroes and an adorable snap to mark his third birthday today. Due to schools closing amid the pandemic, we weren't sure if we would get to see a picture of the young royal on his first day of nursery, as we did with Prince George and Princess Charlotte. However, the family have today released a sweet photo, taken by the Duchess of Cambridge, of Louis ahead of his first day at Wilcox Nursery School. In it, he can be seen dressed up very smartly, beaming as he clutches the handlebars of his bright red bike. The lockdown restrictions and social distancing rules mean Louis has been able to spend less time with his loving grandparents, Prince Charles and Camilla, and Carol and Michael Middleton, but his parents working from home and cancelling overseas tours means they've been around a lot more. And homeschooling means he's had more time to play with his big brother and sister. Kate and William have approached parenting in lockdown with the same approach they normally use with their royal trio, very modern and very open. While the couple have a few members of staff to help out, including Norland nanny Maria Teresa Turian Barrow, the couple are very hands when it comes to looking after their children. Their passion for the outdoors and art features heavily in their day-to-day activities, and they have a few strict rules at home. We've looked back at how Kate and William have approached parenting in lockdown and their modern roles as mum and dad to celebrate Louis' big day. Ahead of the first lockdown in March last year, the Cambridges left their Kensington Palace home and headed to their countryside base, Amner H in Norfolk. Kate and Wills had the tough job of homeschooling George and Charlotte, which they admitted they found hard. The children normally attend Thomas Battersea, which costs around £7,000 a term, and teaches expert parents to be very hands-on with schooling. Speaking to OK! Magazine, royal expert and author Katie Nicholl explains that Kate and William are more than happy to do this. She says, "George and Charlotte are studious and love to learn, so they are pretty self-sufficient when it comes to Zoom learning. But the school likes the children to do practical projects too." During an interview last year, Kate admitted that they didn't tell the children it was the Easter holidays, making them work straight through the break so as not to disrupt their routine. Giggling, Kate said, "We don't tell the children we've kept going through the holidays. I feel very mean." However, the age gap between George and Charlotte caused a few issues for the family, as Charlotte's lessons are very different to George as he's a few school years above. Speaking on ITV's This Morning, Kate explained, "George gets very upset because he wants to get involved in Charlotte's projects. Making spider sandwiches is far cooler than doing literacy work." One of the things Kate found hardest about the pandemic was trying to explain the new normal to her children, especially telling them they weren't owed to see their grandparents. She told the program, "It's really hard. We hadn't done a huge amount of FaceTime and Face CS, but obviously we're doing that a lot more. And it's been really great. We try to check in daily with family members and speak to them about news and things like that. In some ways we've got a lot more contact and a lot more FaceTime than perhaps we would have done before. But it is difficult, it's hard to explain to a 5 and a 6, nearly 7-year-old what's going on. The schools have been great in supporting them as well. Hard times, but we've got the support out there, I think." Kate and William are both keen artists, so they've been doing lots of painting with the kids during lockdown, and they're not afraid for the children to get messy. Discipline. As part of their wish to give George, Charlotte and Louis normal upbringings whenever possible, Kate and William do most of the discipline and childcare themselves. They are regulars on the school run and love doing activities with their royal trio, including cooking, baking and playing in the garden. While life in the Cambridge household sounds like a lot of fun, Kate and William can also be strict when they need to be. They are raising the future king after. But according to a source, there is one very big rule in their home, and the couple are particularly strict on it. They told The Sun, "Shouting is absolutely off-limits for the children, and any hint of shouting at each other is dealt with by removal." They've also introduced a chat sofa in place of the more traditional naughty step. The source explained, "The naughty child is taken away from the scene of the row or disruption and talked to calmly by either Kate or William. Things are explained and consequences outlined, and they never shout at them." And when Maria is in charge of the telling off, it's likely that she is fairly strict with George, Charlotte and Louis, and she reportedly has a no-nonsense approach. Norland expert Louise Heron explains that Maria will be ensuring the children are well behaved to prepare them for royal visits. She said, "There will be no messing. That's because Maria will be aware that as they step off planes, holding Mum's hands, smiling and waving to the crowds, there can't be any crying or terrible twos or tantrums." There's a strict 7 p.m. bedtime every night, which has to be stuck to. In a bid to discourage fussy eating, new foods and flavors are introduced every few days. Kate is very passionate about the outdoors and makes it a core part of family life, especially during the last year. She incorporated it into her homeschooling plan, ensuring there was lots of outdoor time every day. Royal expert Katie Middleton explained, "Kate has been interested in how outdoor learning can benefit children. She got to meet children who had lessons outside and ask how they enjoyed it. She saw the benefit firsthand." Kate is aware of screen time and tries to limit the children being exposed to too much. When the children have a break, she takes them outside, come rain or shine. She wants them to get fresh air and be in nature. She loves to pick vegetables with them in the gardens. If they are learning about rivers or the sea, she and William try to incorporate that into their walks. Charlotte is a massive fan of spiders and loves looking at them and learning about them, so they go on spider hunts so that she can see them up close and then let them go. The children played outdoors regularly before the pandemic, with nature being a key part of the Norland College's childcare approach. Norland expert Louise Heron has previously explained that play must take place outside, regardless of the weather. She told The Sun, "Lots of bike rides, playing with their dogs, potentially some gardening. Norland are very into teaching children through play." If it is tipping down, they will still go out. Wet weather is just inappropriate clothing, you have to put the right stuff on. But it's something that Kate is particularly keen on as she spent a lot of time outside when she was growing up in Berkshire. Speaking on Giovanna Fletcher's podcast Happy Mum, Happy Baby, she said, "As children, we spent a lot of time outside, and it's something I'm really passionate about. I think it's so great for physical and mental well-being and laying foundations. It's such a great environment to spend time in, building those quality relationships without the distractions of I've got to cook and I've got to do this. And acti, it's so simple." Kate's mum guilt. Before lockdown, Kate admitted she suffers mum guilt as she tries to juggle parenting with her royal duties. Speaking to Giovanna, she admitted she struggled when her children asked why she couldn't take them to school. Asked if she feels mum guilt, she replied, "Yes, absolutely, and anyone who doesn't as a mother is acti lying." Yep. The time, even this morning, coming to the nursery visit here, George and Charlotte were like, "Mummy, how could you possibly not be dropping us off at school this morning?" It's a constant chenge. You hear it time after time from mums, even mums who aren't necessarily working and aren't pulled in the directions of having to juggle work life and family life. During the chat, she also said that she often feels guilty about some of the parenting decisions she makes. She said, "You're always sort of questioning your own decisions and your own judgments and things like that, and I think that starts from the moment you have a baby." She goes on to explain how she deals with the guilt, relaying something a very wise man told her. She said, "The more people you have around your children who are safe and loving and caring, the better." So yeah, it was a real weight off my shoulders that it's not totally my responsibility to do everything, because we have good days, bad days, and you can dilute that with others who aren't on that particular day struggling. I think it makes such a difference for your child, keeping them as constant and happy as possible.